DSA, I know you to be very vocal with Nigeria's politics, especially how you campaigned for Buhari last election. Sir, why are you silent now? Secondly, I have watched all your interviews with the presidential candidates. Some were impressing while others were not. I believe you are aware of the emergence of Atiku Abubakar as the PDP candidate and the endorsement he got from Obasanjo. What do you have to say about all this? Is there really hope for Nigeria? Thanks.
The person said, I'm very vocal. So as a result, does the person want to tell me that I've not been vocal enough about that? Can you try to clarify that for me? Try to find out what he's trying to say.
Well,
does that mean that I've not been vocal enough?
What he's saying is that why are you silent now? Maybe perhaps because the Buhari's...
Am I silent? That's going to be a revelation.
No, I don't want to believe you're silent. However, maybe his silence that he's expecting, or what he's expecting you to say, is that because putting it very close to Buhari and juxtaposing it with your campaign for Buhari's last election,
okay, in comparison,
in comparison, it's like because you were everywhere for the last election, but now the election is close and you're not putting so much intensity as you were putting for the last one. So maybe that's what he interprets.
Okay, then I would rather read the question myself. DSA, I know you to be very vocal with Nigeria's politics, especially how you campaign, in comparison to how you campaign for Buhari last election. Yes. Sir, why are you silent now? Okay, maybe in comparison, you could say I'm silent now, especially when you compare to how I was very active and vocal last time in 2015. In 2015, the destiny of our nation was at stake. Number one. Number two, in 2015, the options we have was either for Jonathan to continue or for somebody else to take over. That time, with the way the country was being run, it was, the country was going to, if Jonathan had won that election, the country would have fallen apart now. There would be no Nigeria. Or if there is Nigeria, it will only be like Venezuela. If you know what is happening in Venezuela or Yemen, that is what would have been happening in Nigeria right now. So one of the greatest decisions of our country is the fact that we campaigned against the re-election of Jonathan. Now, there are some people who don't understand that and who are rather blaming us or blaming people like me who campaigned against Jonathan and saying that we are to blame for what is happening right now. Now, let me tell you something. Those people, if they will know the facts, they should rather be thanking God and praying to God for God to bless all that campaigned for Jonathan not to be re-elected, if they know what we know. But if they don't know what we know, and they think that, or if they think they know, and they are still saying that Jonathan was going to be better than Buhari, I believe that such a person doesn't have conscience, doesn't have the fear of God, and doesn't even have the love of Nigeria. Those people are mainly people who love themselves more than they love the country. They love themselves and their pocket and their gain, what they are gaining from it, than what the nation or the destiny of the nation. Even people who served under that government themselves knew that no way. I mean, can you imagine a government where by all the budget was going to pay salaries, and we don't know where it was going. Even to pay salaries, they were borrowing to pay salaries. That was back since then. Can you imagine a government whereby it was, one barrel of oil was $140. And the budget now, when for these past 3 years, when this Buhari has been here, is bigger, almost double of the budget when the income was 3 times higher. And the budget now is 2 times higher than where was the money going? So there is no option in that one. I needed to campaign. And if you look properly, I don't know if I have the list of, somebody was complaining against me and other people and saying, we put Nigeria in this trouble. And the person got a list, I don't have it. The person got a list of Nigerians that were said to have campaigned against Jonathan, that it is those Nigerians who put the country in this kind of problem. And that list, if you look at that list, you will see that they are the most educated and the most progressive Nigerians ever. And for somebody to now say, oh, okay, wisdom failed, it's just because those people missed it, that's why Nigeria is having the problem that we're having. I'm sure some people are trying to tell me that, no, but see where we are right now. I'm going to talk about where we are right now, but I'm going to try actually and get the names. Because by the time you see the names of these Nigerians that they said, put us into trouble, you will discover that these Nigerians are not foolish at all. They are probably one of the best Nigerians you ever come across. And I'm in that list, and I'm proud of it. And I'm ever going to be proud of the fact that, yes, I was one of the people that worked hard and hard for Jonathan to be removed from that place. Jonathan doesn't have any business being in that place, especially after I've met with him myself. And I met with him, and after meeting with him twice, I came to the conclusion that guy is clueless. I mean, let's just leave Jonathan alone. Now, let me answer your question, because that's the one you want me to answer. I think I got the names now. Okay, let's come and see the names of these Nigerians that they are accusing for imposing. And the thing the person is saying, look at the language he's using here. They compile the list and say, here are some of the most prominent names that helped send Buhari to Aso Rock. So they got the names here. Dr. Obi Ezekwesili. No, that Obi Ezekwesili now is against the same government that she helped to put in place, all right? And they are all denying it. And they're saying, no, we didn't do it. We just fought against Jonathan, but we didn't impose Buhari. But I said, I didn't just fight against Jonathan, but I campaigned and I imposed Buhari, and I'm happy I did. But later on, I'll tell you one of the other reasons why. So Fela Dorotoye, he himself is running for presidency now, and he's saying that, no, I didn't campaign. They are all denying it. But I'm not denying it. I campaigned, and I'm insisting that that's one of the very best things that we ever did. Let's look at the other people. Atiku, Abubakar, all these 3 people are running against Buhari right now, but they all campaigned against Jonathan. Why? Because they knew that Jonathan couldn't have continued. Then Omoyele Sowore is here. He's also denying it. No, I didn't campaign. I was never against. Because they are all denying it because they want to be elected now. They don't want to have association with this present government. I say, no, I never campaigned. No. But this record is there. And I think they should all be proud that they did. Look at the other one that campaigned, Donald Duke. All these people,
they are presidential.
All of them are presidential. Every name I've read so far are presidential aspirants. Yeah. And they all campaign for Jonathan to be removed. And they campaign for Buhari to be in his place, brother. So, and I'm not denying that, but the reason why all of them are denying is because they now want to be elected themselves. Look at the next person that campaigned for Buhari to be there, Chief Obasanjo himself. He campaigned for Jonathan to be removed and for Buhari to come. Now, somebody will say he has changed his mind. We'll go there later on. Then the next one is Professor Charles Soludo. Tell me who is foolish out of all these names. No. I mean, you rather tell. I would rather ask you for the list of people who are greater than this one, or who are not, who are better than this one. So for you to, okay, let's keep on going. Then the next one that campaigned for Buhari to be there is Tunde Bakare. Then Sunday Adelaja. And if anybody that has listened to Sunday Adelaja very well, you know that I'm not as foolish as people think. I am not foolish at all. I know a lot that people might not be giving me credit for. And I surely know one or two things about Nigeria and how nations should be governed. But then, apart from Sunday Adelaja, we have Father Ejike Mbaka. You know, then we have Professor Yemi Oshibajo, he's in government. Then we have Tam David West. Then we have Professor Wole Soyinka. Then you have Chris Okotie. So these are the names of 14 prominent Nigerians that campaign for
Jonathan to be
for
out.
Jonathan to be, yes. Now let's go back to that question. Because I'm sure that I've still not answered the question of that guy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've still not answered. So I'll keep on reading the question. So the question now is that why are you silent now? Okay. Why I'm silent now? I have my reason why I'm silent now. The reason why I'm silent now is because I rate the government of Buhari to be just 40% of my own expectation, 30 to 40%. I didn't give them pass mark. I think they have performed lower, below bar of what I would have expected them to have done. They are worse than what I campaigned for and what I expected. But then, I would have liked a better candidate and better people to come and replace them. But the way things are right now, and that's why I was giving platform to different people to come and speak, to see who could be good enough. From the people that I interviewed, there are 3 people that I think might be good enough to replace Buhari. They are mainly, 1, Sowore. I think Sowore, I used to think that Moghalu was the best candidate. In terms of knowledge, yes, he is the best candidate. But I keep on watching the 2 of them, and I'm coming to the conclusion that maybe Sowore might still be better, even though Sowore doesn't have the knowledge that Moghalu has, but he's more active and he's more rugged. So I think I would rather pick Sowore right now than Moghalu. But the 2 of them are qualified. They would have been very good presidential material. So Moghalu, Sowore, and Tope Fashua is another one I think he's the one that has the best idea of all of them all. He has the most revolutionary idea that can turn Nigeria around. But he doesn't have the profile, and I don't think he has the temperament as well. So that's why if any one of those people would have been, any one of these 3 people would have been the front runner, then I would have been very actively campaigning for one of them. But I know, I'm not stupid, I know that they don't stand a chance. But let me now tell you another person that I think I would have campaigned for, which maybe I will still campaign for, but it's still too early to decide. But I don't think he also has a chance. Is Obi Ezekwesili. Obi Ezekwesili is a lady, is a woman, one of the people in that list that I just read, that yes, would have done better than all the other people that I mentioned. Obi has the passion of Sowore and has the knowledge of Moghalu. And also is a woman that women have never been given a chance to be president. So Obi has everything. Believe me, Obi has knowledge not less than Moghalu. Believe me, Obi Ezekwesili not just have knowledge, she has integrity that matches all of them. I think her own integrity is even higher than all the other candidates put together. She has the boldness of Sowore. She has the ruggedness of Sowore. And yeah, but she has the brain of Moghalu. And then she's a woman and she has the experience. No, she is the complete package in this. Out of all the candidates that are running right now, the best person right now so far is Obi Ezekwesili. Now, will Obi Ezekwesili be allowed to win? I don't even think she has the money. I don't even think they will give her the money to run, to win. And one of the big disappointments for me is that, apart from me, who know her very well, no, maybe, yeah, but there is somebody that knows her better than I do. And that person I'm very disappointed that person didn't support her. Because if that person would have supported her, maybe she would say that she would have had a chance. But that person is playing politics. And maybe also that person refused to support her because he also knows that she doesn't stand a chance. If not because of that, that would have been the best presidential candidate right now. So the person I'm talking about that knows her and should have supported her and be there for her is Obasanjo. Obasanjo was supposed to have supported and mobilized the whole country to support Obi. But since that didn't happen, I really see no chance with Obi right now. I don't see that Obi will win. Now, somebody who told me that, okay, if you say Sowore is good enough, why wouldn't you just campaign for him and make him win? Number one, because I don't want to fight a battle that I already know that I don't stand a chance in. Number two, I have not seen the structure and the system that, I like to do everything predictably. That's why I have a book that is called Life is Predictable. People who know me will tell you that before Pastor Sunday declares something, he has calculated it with backup plans. I would have liked to see such a plan from Sowore or from Moghalu or from Obi with backup plans that with their cup is full and running over, that they are going to win the election. And I don't see that such a plan. For example, let me tell you what I'm saying. Let me just make a comparison. What Sowore is doing, that's exactly the way I would have done, because he has revolutionized politics in Nigeria. I mean, that is exactly, he's doing everything right. He's doing everything right. So that's why I put him ahead of Moghalu now. But they don't have structure. I need a system from him. What he's doing right now is a one-man show, even though he's so brilliant in that one-man show. But it doesn't have the structure. But let me show you a contrast and a comparison to what I'm saying. The way we do things here, the way when we were running to win the election here, I put forward 1,500 organizations. 1,500 organization structures that were set up to help us win the election we were doing the governor, the mayor position of the capital of Ukraine. That is the way we do it. But I see somebody who is very close to thinking like that. And that is because their experience is very experienced in it. I don't see the list here. But I have a list somewhere. Where I saw that Atiku has 300 and something, 350 or 365 different structures, organizations that are already set up all over the country. Funded, financed, that are going to be just doing the work they are going to be doing every day, morning till night, is campaigning and mobilizing for him. That is the way to win an election. But I didn't see that from Sowore. I didn't see that from any other guys. They don't have the idea. They don't have the know-how. They don't know how to do it. They are children in politics. They don't know how to win an election. So when you have not presented to me arguments like that, I will not waste my time supporting you. I am not a loser. I believe in predictability of life. Life is predictable. And you must give me the statistics. I must have the scientific methods that you use before I could support you. So because none of them has that, I'm not going to waste my energy to supporting them. If somebody says, oh, they will win anyway, they believe in miracles. I too, but in that kind of miracle, I don't believe it. So, and I'm sure that Buhari has such a structure too, but that is how to win election. So but that is why I am not speaking. I don't see a top-ranking front-runner that I could speak for. And Buhari, I believe that it didn't meet up. It didn't match up with my expectation. So I cannot campaign for him. But if the option and the choice is between Buhari and Atiku, I would rather support Buhari, but I will not campaign for him, but I would rather support him. See the difference? Yeah. So why is it that I will not support Atiku? Number one, Because Atiku became a millionaire while he was still a custom officer. Tell me, in Nigeria, anybody who comes from Nigeria and tell me that custom officers are not corrupt, even if you are not a millionaire. But for you to become a multi-millionaire in dollars as a custom officer, and you said you got, is that from your salary?
Definitely.
Who pays, what government pays that kind of salary?
Definitely not.
So I don't need to be told anything else. I think myself. So for me, I have my conclusion about Atiku. That is number one. Number two, if you are a sitting vice president and the international government are chasing you all over the world, America is chasing you, they want you to be repatriated, just like Ala Messiaga or whatever is there.
Alai Messia.
Alai Messiaga or whatever.
Yeah,
yes, the Emperor Alai. He's the same kind of guy. So that one, I'm not foolish enough for the whole world, America, to be saying you cannot come to the country. They even looked at his case in the Senate, in the Congress. And his business partner in America is a congressman. Was put in jail. He's still in jail till today. That's why he cannot go to America. The case is in Congress. Go to the United States Congress and type Atiku. Abubakar Atiku, you will see official up to today his case is still there. So am I foolish to that extent to now be able to elect that one? So okay, that's number two. Number three, some people say Obasanjo is corrupt. Okay, if Obasanjo is corrupt, let's assume he's corrupt. But when they were together, Obasanjo and him. Even the corrupt Obasanjo was shocked at the level of corruption of Atiku.
And he had to write a book.
He had to, we wanted to actually impeach the guy when he was still there because it was an embarrassment. The way he was corrupt, his own was another level. Number three, up to today, one of the reasons why we don't have electricity, because it was Obasanjo Atiku's government that spent 16 billion. Even though I don't blame them for that because electricity will cost more than 16 billion. But Atiku has a business that is connected to a refrigerator. He's the one importing refrigerator. Generator, sorry, I said refrigerator. Generator to Nigeria.
Yeah.
And that business is what is not allowing Nigeria to have electricity today. And you want to put him as president? Me, I know crazy. Oh, I wanted to say you crazy. But me, I know crazy to that level. My own craziness not reach that one. If he was vice president and we have spent 16 billion on electricity and and his own business is prospering, and you want me to go and now put him as president? That one, I think that it might even be better for Jonathan to return than for Atiku to be there. Somebody said, I read it, it's a very, very rough and very, very incorrect analogy, but I'm going to use it because just for the sake of communication here, making a point. I read it. I'm a Yoruba guy, so somebody said Atiku is Atiku, which means we don't die. We are dead. If that become president is Atiku finished, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And then the vice president, his own vice president candidate, is called Obi, but they said obituary. So after Atiku, the next thing that follows is obituary. Atiku means we are dead. Then what will happen after that is balsam. It's obituary. I would not like to use that kind of joke so much, but I saw it and I think I should just refer to it here because that is exactly the destiny that's waiting for Nigeria. Although my opinion of Obi is totally the opposite. I respect him a lot. I believe that he's one of the brightest minds that we have there in the country. But he's conflicting himself. It seems to be telling a lot of lies, but still, at least he has the passion in the right direction. I would rather make Atiku become retired and Obi the president. I would rather change the position. Let Obi become the president, only not Atiku. If Atiku is in the team, kaput. In fact, I would have been campaigning against Atiku vigorously. He should be thanking his star that I'm not campaigning against him. And the reason why I'm not campaigning against him is just because of Buhari. His only competitor also is not very impressive. Otherwise, I would have been campaigning the way I campaigned against Jonathan the other time. But Jonathan, you have promised not to campaign for your Buhari, but at least Buhari has integrity, so I would rather let him remain. At least Buhari has started taking the economy in the right direction. I would rather let him remain. The projects that Buhari is finishing, they're overwhelming. The projects that have been standing for 30 years, the guy is finishing them. I mean, he's moving in the right direction. I would rather let Buhari remain than for him to be removed. Now, look at if you have not read the book of Obasanjo, okay, I have it here. Not the book, but the segment where he was talking about Atiku. Let me read to you what he wrote about Atiku in his book. So how will Obasanjo expunge? Okay, let's say Obasanjo wrote in his book about Atiku. He said, "What I did not know, which came to glaring later, was that Atiku had parental problem in his background. But that's not, for you don't, you have parental problem. That's not the problem. Anybody can have parental problem or bringing problem. That's what it is. But, but I will not blame him for that. But look at the real reasons why I believe that what Obasanjo wrote in this book was the plain truth. But what he now did to endorse Atiku was politics. And the facts prove that, because Americans, everybody, the facts prove that. So, but even when he endorsed Atiku, he didn't say what he said is wrong, or he cancelled what he had written in his book. He just said, if you ask me for forgiveness, I forgave him. So now let's read what he had written in the book, because what Obasanjo was actually saying, he was sending a signal to us that in those things and in those areas that concerning me personally, I have forgiven him. But what he's not saying, that he is expecting people who have brain to read, is that, but when what is concerning his moral quality and weaknesses, I cannot stand for him. And what is concerning the nation, his sin against the nation, he cannot forgive. Only the nation has to forgive. You see? So what are the things that the evil that he has done against the nation, why I cannot, and nobody should ever vote for him? And the reason why Obasanjo did it anyway is because too much pressure from his was on him. But that is not even the reason. He's used to pressure. But the reason why he did that is because of the vested interest. He had his own vested interests. He had interests also that are not being satisfied by this present government. And this is the kind of government we need, that will not look at your eyes and give you things just because you are powerful. And that because he had his own way of defrauding Nigeria that has been stopped, and he wants it to continue. And we don't know the agreement that Atiku has given him and what Atiku has promised him. But he has definitely considered some things. And promised some things. And that is at the expense of the nation. So I would rather have Buhari to be there than Atiku. But let's see what Obasanjo wrote about Atiku concerning his attitude to the nation, not just to him. He said, Atiku has propensity for corruption. Propensity to corruption. It's just what do you call it? It's just not eagerness. It's just inclined. Is it inclined?
An inclination.
An inclination to corruption. It's just by all his. How would he not have inclination for corruption? That one, I understand it, because he was a custom officer. Tell me anybody who was in custom officer and became a billionaire, those who will not have the inclination or propensity for corruption. That is explainable to me. I don't even need the explanation for that one. Of course, that is understandable because it's facts proving. That is number one. Number two, Atiku has the tendency to disloyalty. I cannot prove that. But that disloyalty might be something personal. He was disloyal to him. So maybe you have forgiven him about that. But disloyalty also could be against the nation. And if you became a millionaire where you were a custom officer, I see disloyalty against the nation right there, bold.
And also with the Mikano generator business.
The generator business, is that not disloyalty against the nation? So next one. So Obasanjo can forgive his own, but he cannot forgive against the nation. The next one is his inability to say and stick to the truth at all time. That is, it means that he has moral issue. He has integrity issue. He cannot, he's not a lover of truth. And for me, that is the biggest problem here. And that is exactly the picture of what is wrong with the whole Nigeria as a whole. No love for truth. If Obasanjo that people accuse of not being, straightforward or not being corrupt. So for me, I used to have a lot of respect for Obasanjo, and I still do. And I think he used to be, it was a person of truth. But for that person to now be saying that this person cannot stick to truth or say truth, he has inability. He's not capable of saying the truth or sticking to the truth at all times. He doesn't have the ability to say the truth or talk less of sticking to the truth.
That's a major flaw.
That's not, I don't even want to have anything to do with that kind of person. Next one. Atiku has a propensity for poor judgment. Now, I've not tried that. I don't know that. I don't have facts for that. But this is his boss saying that.
So
that he has poor judgment. I even had Obasanjo saying it, that I gave him a lot of work because I wanted him to succeed me. The reason I even put him there as my vice president for him to become president after me. But his poor judgment was alarming, and he was always complaining. He just wanted to be vice president and enjoy the position, but not to work hard. And he was even complaining to him as a president that you are giving me too much work.
Too much work.
So why are you there? So that is not what I could judge, but that is what he wrote about him. And this concerns the nation.
Yeah.
If this is true, he cannot forgive this.
Yeah.
Propensity for poor judgment is not something you can forgive.
True.
Lack of truth is not something that you can forgive. These are things that will ruin a nation. I wrote a book, and the book is called Why Nations Fail. Or what is it called?
Yeah.
The Death of Nations.
The Death of Nations.
The Death of Nations. The Death of Nations. Why countries fail. The death of nations. So the death of nations, in my book, these are the things that lead to the death of nations. Lack of truth, poor judgment, it would bring the death of Nigeria. So I would rather support Buhari in that sense. Then another thing he's writing is his belief, Atiku's belief and reliance on marabouts. Marabouts, is that not bandits, or are they not thieves and bandits?
They fall under the same category.
Yeah. So he's relying on mafia, on bandits to resolve issue.
Yeah.
So, for example, he's going to send people after you. Hoodlums. I don't know that, if that is true or not, but there's no way Obasanjo could forgive that. Because he's going to be using it against other people to silence his enemies. His lack of transparency. And how many people have listened to Atiku talk too much? That you can't see the transparency at all. Even though he's more eloquent than Buhari, but even Buhari talks more than him. Then his trust, Atiku has a trust and belief in money to buy his way out of all issues. That is, he has mammon problem. He's serving mammon, love of money, and trust in money. Corruption, that is what has led Nigeria to where it is right now. That money is the solution to everything. So those are major flaws that Obasanjo cannot just forgive. These things will haunt, they will haunt the nation. They will haunt and hurt the nation if he is elected. Then he says, Atiku is ready to sacrifice morality for the sake of money. That kind of person, these are qualities that doesn't qualify anybody to become president. He is ready to sacrifice morality, ready to sacrifice integrity, ready to sacrifice truth, and even national interest for self and selfish interest. And you will now be saying you forgave him when you are the one who said he is ready for money to sacrifice national interest. Even though, that settles it. Somebody said, oh, but you too got born again now. You were bad before and you got born again. Everybody can change. Yes, I was bad before. I got born again. The grace, but the grace of God did that. I didn't do that myself. Nobody can change himself by himself. You need the grace of God. But the last I had, I've not heard that Atiku has received Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior, and he has also received that grace that can change him the way he changed me. I've not heard that. Maybe if there is a news like that, forward the news to me. To know that he has accepted that grace that made him to change and to be told, but by human power, nobody can prevail. So these things are damning and too damning for me to now say I will support Atiku. I would rather support Buhari. Let him be. Let him finish his next term. If he doesn't finish, if he doesn't improve, it will be on. He will have to answer for it with his conscience for the rest of his life. But I see that what I feel is that Buhari is going to do much better in the second decade of his of his tenure than the first, and that he will be more confident, because during the time of the best we've ever had in Nigeria after return to civil rule is during Obasanjo regime. But you go and check it, the first 4 years of Obasanjo was worse than this. But the second 4 years of Obasanjo, it just took off. It took Nigeria to a new height. I think the same thing could happen with this man here. But let's see the question. I don't think I've even answered the question to the end.
I think you already got to the second part of the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Read it again.
All right.
Or so you want me to read?
Since you said.
Okay. So DSA, I know you to be very vocal with Nigerians' politics, especially how you compared, how you campaigned for Buhari last election. Sir, why are you silent now? I think I explained that one.
You've answered
okay,
that.
Okay. Then the next question is, secondly, I have watched all your interviews with the presidential candidates. I think I also answered that, right?
Yeah.
Some were impressing, while others were not, okay? I believe you are aware of the emergence of Atiku Abubakar as the PDP candidate and the endorsement he got from Obasanjo. What do you have to say about all this? Is there really hope for Nigeria? Thanks. If Atiku will come, there will be no hope for Nigeria. It will be Atiku and obituary, unfortunately. It means we don't die and obituary is waiting for us. But time has gone.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. And I thought I heard somebody ask a question. I don't know if you have it or not, but maybe you ask it next time.
Maybe next time.
That somebody wrote in my Facebook something. What am I thinking about Buhari? That this is not Buhari.
Okay, yes.
Do you have the question?
Yeah, it's part of the ones that
okay, so I want to really answer that question. I am born to answer that question. I am born to answer that question. I am born to answer that question. But maybe not today. Yeah, because Bayo has to cover.
Yeah.
But I think I'm thorough enough in my answer to this one.
I intentionally wanted you to.
You didn't stop me, but I will still need to. You will still have to round it up now. Tell us what you got.
It's very good that you're able to give a detailed explanation of your
stance.
Yeah, of your stance and perceived silence from not just this person who is asking this question, but from majority of Nigerians who were aware of your activism during the 2015 election, and also your stance with Buhari as compared to now, because many people had the opinion that why are you not campaigning against Buhari? You understand? Because if you were for Buhari, and now that Buhari did not perform, of which you already said that he didn't perform as you expected, so why are you not saying let them kick him out?
Yes.
Okay, but if you're not going to even campaign against Buhari, so who are you campaigning for? That's another question people were asking. Okay, so you've been having presidential candidates come on you. So who is that person that you're going to campaign for? And why are you not campaigning for that person? Which you give, substantial, and explicit details to why you're making your stance. Why you're not going to campaign for Buhari because of his poor performance, and also why you're not going to campaign for any of the presidential aspirants. And you give your vote of confidence for those people that you know that they can perform But why you're not going to campaign for them? Because it's just going to be a futile effort, because they don't have the structure, they don't have the system to make things work. All right, and you made that very explicit. And also with the Atiku and Obasanjo's case, I mean, you were also very detailed with what made Obasanjo endorse Atiku, and that was just politics and vested interest. And also with all of the facts that Obasanjo had written about
and the life of
Atiku to himself, understand? So everything just shows that no, Atiku is definitely not the person to rule the nation. And anyone who has a mind that can think and can just pay attention to the facts will know that no, Atiku is not the person to take that role as the president of the nation. I mean, that's quite explicit. And talking about the hope for Nigeria, although I would have loved you to communicate that hope, not with the outcome of the election, but your personal hope. But I think you've said that many times, so that might not be.
I can say a few things about hope for Nigeria.
All right.
Okay. So, is there any hope for Nigeria?
Yeah, is there really hope for Nigeria?
If I'm going to say this, people are going to say I am magnanimous. What do you call magnanimous?
You have what do you call
somebody
it?
that is too much megalomania. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want them to think that I'm megalomania.
Yeah.
But I am a man of responsibility. I even wrote a book on that. You are born to make your nation great. How to change a nation through personal responsibility. So I believe in personal responsibility. I believe that as long as I'm alive, and as long as God will allow me to get back to Nigeria, that there is hope for Nigeria. I'm connecting that hope to myself. And I'm not ashamed of that. Not because I want to be president or I want to be governor or politicians. No. I just believe in taking responsibility and fixing things. Anything that is wrong, anything that is out of order, that is my job. I'm born to make my nation great and to fix things. And by the grace of God, I am going to fix Nigeria. If God will allow me to step there again, we are going to change our country by the grace of God. So if Nigeria will survive it before I arrive, there will be hope. I think that is the short one I would do.
Beautiful. Well, great.